Hey, good to have you back with video 2 here. Glad you're sticking the course. Let's hop right into it and get you, some clarity of what's actually going on here. So, if you've ever lost a deal because you didn't follow up fast enough or completely forgot to text someone back, I know I have. This is your solution. Statistics show that if a new lead isn't contacted in the first 5 minutes, that the likelihood of connecting drops by 79%. That's 4 out of 5 leads you lose by not having a speed to lead system. Now, this AI-driven follow-up, it goes across text, Instagram, Facebook, even WhatsApp, and it filters replies and books appointments for you automatically. So you spend less time manually outreaching and only on the ones that truly matter. So, um, you know, uh, let's hop right into the different automation. So this is from one page of one client of ours of what's possible. I just want to kind of highlight the top ones that I see on here. So clear to close, like I mentioned in the last one, happens after the fact. It sends a Google review request. Just really makes you look good. You're following up. Maybe it's a slow drip every couple months. Just hey, want to check in, make sure you don't need anything. Mix that with the Google review responder here, and it's gonna this is gonna ask them to leave a review. This is gonna respond to the review because human psychology, they not only does Google want to see the reviews, but human psychology wants to have that human touch, that human connection. So even though it's through Google, they want to see that reply from you. And in this industry, it's so important to have so many Google reviews. It's just a form of trust that you just have to keep curating. List reactivation. Basically, if you have an old list that we can take our AI and retouch all those people, put them in a slow drip, try and get them to reconvert, bring them back to the surface. Basically squeezing all the juice that we can out of a list for you. Instant personal touch, AI client experience enhancer. Pretty freaking cool on this one. Able to take past conversations. It's trained on you, your business, everything that you do. And what it does is curates hyper-personalized messages based on past conversations and things of that sort, and has your voice, your tone, sounds like you, trained on you. So it can be a really cool touch to add in there. AI voicemail, really cool, up and coming. And what this is, it allows that if someone calls you, you don't answer. After 6 rings, it goes to the voicemail. AI answers it. Says, "Hey, I'm your assistant. Just what questions you have, or can I have him call you back? Have him call you back. Can send him a calendar link, whatever it be. Answer some questions for him. If they're simple. Otherwise, it's one step above at least a missed call text back. So, what I want to do now is actually hop inside the automation that I mentioned that kind of runs the new leads and the follow-ups on that. So what happens is it gets triggered the moment. Actually, let me pull it right up for you. So what happens, this is going to trigger every time. So like sold.com, home, Zillow, Kodo, Realtor, LoopNet. When a new lead hits your CRM, it's going to trigger automatically. You don't have to do anything about it. It's going to check to make sure if they've already been texted or not. Then it's going to actually send you an internal notification so that you know that a new lead has come in. Even though the system's going, you get to know that leads are coming in. Next, it's going to check if it's New York, PA. So basically, just is this in any certain area that we need to use a specific number for? We're going to send them a message, something along the lines, hey, it's Carney with whatever realty group you're with. Received your inquiry over at the address. Love to help you get your home search. You can book a call here. Super short, sweet. Seems automated, and from there we send them an email as well, and then we wait for a contact reply. So this is where the system really helps out. Obviously, they just submitted something like this. They're expecting just kind of an automatic reply. Next, they're able to text back. We get a lot of replies off of this. So we actually have a filtering AI. So all the contact replies come through this. It uses basically a ChatGPT backend to filter all the different responses. This one's super simple. We just do positive, negative, unsure, and none, just to do basically a catch-all. And that way you only have to reply to the positives. If there's negatives, they get filtered out immediately, put into a whole different folder. If they don't reply, basically then they go to a timeout, they get a second text the same day, a third text the same day, and from there we check in the morning, make sure if they've replied or not, and if they haven't, we are going to continue to drip on them basically until they tell us to stop, or they send us a reply of some sort. So that is that workflow. That's kind of the main bread and butter for the new leads here. Messages can be, they're personalized, there's space for response windows. It's really the whole idea of the entire lead gen system. But in the next video, I'll give you kind of the untapped source where we're getting all of our leads from, and how we're getting more listings that we can handle from this system, and how you can basically implement all of it together, bring it all in to actually really replicate the system and do it all for yourself with how many listings you want to add. It really matters of how much work you want to have. So, and this isn't just SMS. This is also emails that can respond to Google Business Profile, WhatsApp, Facebook. So any Facebook ads you're running, any calls, we can have people text numbers and start workflows. It's all the same logic, just kind of different channels, and it's all one engine that runs all of it. So this is really just a piece of all of it. And if you're ready to build this out fully, the sprint course gives you kind of the overview of what's possible, but the full course is going to give you the actual system, the exact plug-and-play scripts, the automations, the checklists, the integration templates, the workflows, ready to launch by next weekend. It's going to show you the Vulcan, Zillow, Zapier integrations. All the automations are pre-mapped. You don't need tech skills. We walk you through step by step how to create everything that you could possibly think of. And it's really what this looks like is how to follow up better than an ISA without hiring anyone. So if you're interested, check it out. There's going to be a button somewhere on this page. I'm happy to get into it all, but check out video 3. This is where we're going to really get into the nitty-gritty of where we're getting all these leads, how we're getting these listings, and how you can do the exact same thing.